talk a little bit more about numerology. I promise to share with you karmic and master numbers, and they are so important. It's a bit like in astrology where you have debilitated planets or planets that are asleep. It is, well, with the karmic numbers, it can be restriction. And with the master numbers, you might have some excelled planets in astrology. I'm trying to give you some tie-ins to help you understand if you're primarily an astrologer. So let's get started with karmic numbers. The first karmic number is the 13-4. And these, like I said, you can go ahead and reduce to get an overall idea, but you've got to keep in mind that it is a karmic number. In the last video where I talked about the number energy in general, I told you about the number 4, which is all about structure. It is the square. These are the hard workers of the world, okay? When you bring in the 13-4, it is karmic because it is made up of the number 1 and a number 3. So in a nutshell, these people come in with a lot of drive and a lot of want to have fun. So what they really don't want to do is work real hard, okay? They're more, and so they find themselves being forced to work. And so they have this battle going on in life about the desire to go have fun versus the desire to go to work. So that's where that karmic number is important. The next karmic number is the 14-5, and I have them all written here. I'll let you see the board real quick. So I've got your karmic numbers and your master numbers, okay? And the 33-6, depending on who you talk to, may or may not apply, okay? Some numerologists only look at the 11 and the 22. So your master numbers are all your double numbers. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of floating, but I will get back to karmic numbers, but I just want to list them here for you, show you what they are. I'm going to talk about all double numbers. I think you're only going to see them if you add incorrectly, basically. So, and depending on who you talk to, again, there are correct and incorrect ways of adding the numbers together, reducing them, yada yada. So the second karmic number. The second karmic number is the 14-5. And I think I mentioned in my other video, with the 14, the 5 is your freedom. It is your wings. It's what gets you out there. And with the 14-5 comes in with the 1 and the 4 energy. And this basically equates to a restriction of freedom, because that 4 energy of, structure is in there, which keeps you sometimes from being able to go and do what you want to do. A lot of travel seen with the 5. So it's restricted freedom. And I've done a lot of different things in my life. I've worked as a counselor, and I worked with a lot of troubled people in counseling, and I saw this number a lot. So this number can even represent jails, house arrest, problems with addiction, things like that, problems with the courts. So a lot of restriction with the 14-5. So very important, guys, to keep these karmic numbers in the back of your mind. And the next karmic number is the 16-7. And with the 16-7, you'll find people that really want relationship, because the 6 is about home and family, okay? But because it reduces to a 7, they have a lot of trouble in these areas. They have a lot of trouble with relationships. You'll find a lot of divorces with the 16-7, or people who just simply choose to live alone, quite frankly. They prefer it that way. Just because their history has brought in so much stress and strain and lack of peace in life through relationships. So they eventually kind of just choose a life of being alone, which is not always a bad thing. I like being alone too sometimes. So, and the final karmic number is the 19-1. And the 19-1 can go two different ways because it comes in with the 1 energy and the 9 energy. Really, the ultimate goal for the 19-1 is to find independence, to reach that leadership role. But they have a lot of trouble with codependency. They really are more comfortable relying on other people. And so it's hard for the 19-1 to get out there and be that leader that they're supposed to be. On the reverse side of that, they can also be a little bit domineering. So there's two extremes with this number. They can use that 1 energy to the extent that they alienate themselves, and they are alone as well. Okay, so with the 19, they've really got to find some balance in there with their drive to lead, their drive to do, and also their need to be in and around people. Okay, so that's the karmic numbers, and then we'll start with master numbers. Master numbers are the double numbers, so it's the 11, the 22, and in basic numerology, those are the only two master numbers. But I have seen, when I've gone out of the box and out of the realm of what you're supposed to do correctly, I have come up with the 33, the 44, 55, and so on and so forth. So it's good to at least mention them. So the first master number is the 11-2, which is my life path. And the 11 is a double 1, okay? And I've talked to you about the 1 energy. It is the leader. So here you're going to find a huge difference between the 11-2 and the 2. Because you're bringing in leadership and companionship, or let's see. Let me figure out how to explain this the best way, because this is kind of who I am. And like I said, I've been confused all my life. So the 11s are very intuitive. They are, I like to call them macaroni noodles. They get a lot of messages from beyond, and it's meant to be shared. Okay, so that's where the 1 energy and the 2 energy come together. Okay, so here you're going to find presidents of the United States. I know we have at least 2 to 3 presidents in recent years with an 11-2 life path, because they're really about giving you a message, you know, and should be a positive message. It's about helping people. So it's that one leadership energy with, you know, people attached to it. So that's the 11. And the 22-4. The 22 is called Master Builder, and it has the double 2 energy and the 4 energy. And so where I mentioned that with a 4 you might see somebody in construction. With a 22-4, it could be, you betcha, you'll see somebody in construction. But in this case, they are going to be the boss. They are going to be engineers. They are going to be at the top of their game, you know, in whatever they do. And again, it is working with people, that double 2 energy. So with the master numbers, it's like you're no longer allowed to be private, okay? You have to take your skills and your knowledge, and it's meant to be shared with the world. So the next, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the rest of the master numbers. So the next master number energy is the 33-6. And my best example for the number 33 is Christ. It is agape love for the world, okay? Because you're bringing in the double 3 energy, and the 3 is about creativity. So creation, source, energy, God, and bringing it into not just the world, but family, okay? And with agape love, the world is your family. So the 33-6 is really here about, you know, I don't want to use the word sacrifice, but it's what's coming to mind. It's like sacrifice for love, okay? So it's a powerful number and it's a hard number. So if I see a 33-6 in your chart, I know you're not going to have an easy time, because you're going to have this need and desire to save the world, quite literally. And the next one is the 44-8. And where the 8s are the masters of the financial world, the 44-8s are going to be like masters of the financial world internationally, okay, on a huge global scale. So, you know, Microsoft, Facebook, you know, big, but it's going to be tied to money. It's going to be about the money side of things. And then you get into the 55-10 ones. These are your world leaders. Any of this energy, you're going to take the base number and just make it big, explode it. Okay, so the 55-10 one, not just world, but also in a spiritual sense. Okay, so again, Gandhi, okay, and the reason I'm using him as an example is because he was about world peace, and he went after it peacefully, and he went after it from a spiritual sense, okay? And then you have the 66, which is reduced to a 12 and then to a 3. So the 66, which is going to be on a large scale about family, and I hadn't really thought about this before I started to go into every single double digit, but the 66 is going to be about mass creativity. So I'm seeing like film industry, like film directors, not necessarily actors, but film directors, and these people would be more about making movies that inspired people. Okay, so maybe The Passion of the Christ would be a good example for a movie that reached the entire world, that was supposed to inspire something in people. And then the 77, which reduces to a 14 and a 5. The 77s are going to be really about like traveling preachers, like traveling the world with a message. These are out there crusading. These are going to go to third world countries. Yeah, so crusades, really. And then the 88s, again, the 88, 16, 7. The 88s are going to be about making money, but it's going to be for nonprofit, okay? They're coming in with the money energy, but it's for a spiritual purpose. So they're not really about money except to help people. So these are your huge global nonprofit organizations, okay? The 99, again, we get to the end with the 9s. These people are going to be really here to finish something huge, okay? 9 is ending energy. Double 9 would be here to close things up, to finalize, to move on to another realm, quite literally, another planet, okay? Because the 99 is done here. So they are going to be very wise about everything. Like the 9 carries all the other number energy with it. So it's a master of the 1, a master of the 2, a master of the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it is what it is. I've never run into anybody with a 99 energy. If I do, I will let you know, because this person is going to be something absolutely spectacular, and I will listen to whatever they have to say to me. Okay? So I hope that gives you some insight into karmic and master numbers. Again, calculate your life path. Do it correctly. If you would like to do it incorrectly, that is where you are going to find the 33, 44, 55. okay? That's the only time you're going to come up with it, because numbers are what they are. And if you do it correctly, like I've explained how to do, and do each, the day, the month, and the year, add those separately and then together, you will never, never come up with a 33. Never. So if you want to do it incorrectly, just to see if that number energy is there, go ahead and add them straight across. Don't do it separately, don't do it individually, add them all together. It's the only time you're going to come up with something other than the 11 or the 22. And I hate to do this, but I have to use my daughter as an example. My daughter has, if done correctly, a 15-6 life path. If I add all of her numbers together without reducing individually, then she is a 33-6. This makes it hard. And I do want to say that with the master number energy, this is not something that you just are born into and you know. You don't. You're very confused. And it's the energy of the master numbers is too powerful, quite frankly, for little kids to deal with. So they're going to bounce back and forth from the 6 energy to the 33-6 energy. And you're going to see more of that master number energy as they grow up, okay? Because it's a powder keg, and it's just too much for children to deal with. You're going to see it. You're going to have some idea that it's there, some special talents with your children. And with my daughter, she is a humanitarian, okay? She's got that agape love for the world, and particularly animals. So I see her maybe someday crusading, particularly for animals, to end cruelty to animals, you know, that kind of thing. And I could get into some other stuff, but that's just an example. So check it out, calculate your life path, look for that karmic number energy, look for that master number energy. And if you would like some help and would like a detailed chart, because numerology, I'm just scratching the surface right now. It is so detailed and so in depth and so eye-opening. If you would like a chart done or like a consultation, please contact me. I would love to help you. It's what I'm here to do. Anyway, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.